Witchcrafter. Ain't no way you're playing Witchcrafter. We are playing Pasta Sale. Wait, what is this? Branded Witchcrafter food cooking deck. Okay. Versus Melodious. This should be interesting.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Begin. We are going first, and we are hard opening up the Branded Fusion, but against a Max C. Fusion Deployment could special summon for the deck. Branded Fusion is going to be going into that Albion play. We do not care. Sending from the deck a Witchcrafter Madame. Not activating Albion on summon because of that Max C. So it was just a draw two. Now, what does this crazy boss monster do? She is going to be able to reveal different spell cards in the hand to boost up your spellcasters. I think it's just herself, right? Or any spellcaster you want. Reveal, if a spellcaster battles, you reveal, and only that spellcaster will gain 1,000 for each card revealed, so it will become 3,800 defense, and you can discard a spell to negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end of the turn. So full field negate, get ready. Well, now she's nothing. She's got nada. We have Maxi and Nibiru, though. Activate Maxi as you Maxi'd me also. This is Voiceless Voice Melodious. I'm excited to see how well this plays. As someone was asking me earlier in the stream, what do I think about this deck? I think I have not seen it yet, nor have I played it, so this will be a good indicator of how good it is. As we grab a Skull Guardian from the deck, Saphira activating to Ritual Summon. Come forth into our second summon. Will Nibiru be going into play? No, because we now have an Omni Negate. Big enough to take out the Witchcrafter Madame, drawing into a second dead Nibiru. That is not good. So what do we have here in addition to having to play around Maxi again? Because Fusion Deployment summons from the deck. We have a Negate with the Skull Guardian. We have pop at least one card in the field with the Radiance, and those are going to be our main forms of disruption. Max it up with double disruption, setting up a Branded Loss to Fusion Deployed. Now, why is this so good? Branded Loss specifically counters the Skull Guardian. Because if we now summon an Albaz, we activate Albaz to fuse with the Skull Guardian. Skull Guardian would want to negate, but cannot negate because the Branded Loss states that an effect to fuse cannot be negated on the activation, but the effect can be negated. We're actually going through with it. Now, there is a scenario where we do a cool play here. We could Skull Guardian, negate the Albaz, which is not going to work, but then on a higher chain link, we could use Radiance to pop the Branded Lost. Or we could just Radiance pop the Albaz and infuse with nothing. That would be much more simple. Ooh, does he know? Does he know? Is he lacking critical information? Because this does not work unless we deal with the Lost. Oh my goodness, it went through. Skull Guardian negate nothing as we fuse with that Skull Guardian. Let's go. Now, are they screwed now? They actually have protection from that mistake through the effect of the Prayers of the Voiceless. Now that we lost our monster, it's going to trigger Engrave to summon from the deck, and the Radiance will still be active. We're still fine. Right? Oh no, it actually can't trigger on a Fusion Summon because the Fusion Summon is on Chainlink 1, so this actually could not activate due to the Branded Loss. Branded Loss countered the Prayers Engrave. Branded Loss countered the Skull Guardian on field. Super countered 2 cards with 1. But, you know, as I said, Radiance was the play. And this is not lethal, right? Okay, yeah, barely survived. Holy moly. Cartesia cannot fuse within the battle phase. Radiance in the end phase. So Radiance does state that it's only during the main phase can you activate one of the effects. So you're going to have to, at the end of main phase 2, flip it up, then activate whatever effect you want to there. All right, off the top of the deck, we grab another Saphira Ostinato. So we, on purpose, we kept our field open because we knew that we had the Ostinato only activatable if you controlled no monsters whatsoever. So you played right into my trap. Bacha is here. Activate, summon from the deck, refrain. I saw a Reddit thread asking for choke points on Melodious, and the top comment, it had upvotes saying to Ash Blossom Bacha. This cannot get ashed. While you control this fusion summon card, the activate effects of your Melodious fusion monsters cannot be negated. All right, so you could imperm, you can't ash it. All right, I think it's still up on Reddit. You could look it up. We are triggering the Couplet. Couplet, when added, trigger to Reborn from the grave or summon from the hand. A Melodious is going to grab a Concerto, which will fuse with our back row, field, or hand. Come forth into a second copy of Botcha. Double the Botcha. We're going to be triggering our Pendulum Scales when we summon a Fusion Summon to then put them back into our scales. We are waiting potential with Cartesia to do something. We could turn this into a Dragostapelia possibly, as we now grab a Skull Guardian. As soon as we summon that Skull Guardian, the low will reborn from the graveyard. We're going to tribute off the Botcha to summon that Skull Guardian, and now we are in big trouble as soon as that comes out. Now, again, Cartesia cannot be negated by Skull Guardian while we control a Branded Lost. So hopefully we do understand how that works with the Albaz as the low reborns. Concerto draws a card by returning back. Randomly drawing into a Protos. Ain't no way. Grabbing a Sarvis with no room to summon it. Uh-oh. This is it. Don't negate. Don't try and negate. There you go. Radiance. That's what we got to do. We have to use the Radiance. Do not try to negate the activation with the Lost on field. And now the Nibiru is going through. This is a big problem. Activate the Banshee. So an interesting play that could have happened here is if we chainlinked one Dark Cartesia and it went through, you could, in response to your own Fusion Summon, Nibiru the field, and the Skull Guardian cannot negate because the Skull Guardian cannot respond to a Fusion Summon if summoned on Chainlink 1 while there's a face-up Branded Lost. Now, obviously, we were not setting that up because the Cartesia was on Chainlink 2. Nemesis Flag, return a Banshee card back. How do you have room for all this? Protos, Nemesis Engine, Melodious. This is not a 40-card deck, is it? Corridor is now here. Send to the grave to special summon our Thunder Dragon Colossus. All right, let's go. Over 10,000 damage to the field. Now special summoning our Protos. Protos activate, wiping out dark monsters. We're not going to even reveal that we play Nibiru. It gets negated by Skull Guardian. They then now know we play it. No bueno. Let's hop into game 2. Nicely done. Interesting. Branded Lost will, I think, forever be a pretty confusing card. There's a lot of interesting rulings with it, how it can miss the timing, responding to your own Fusion Summon where they cannot respond. I love it. Saphira, searching our deck for our... I don't understand what is going on. We won game 1. We chose to go second after we lost. So we lost. We want them to go first. So we go second. Kind of interesting, sure. We're going to be tributing off the low to come forth and Ritual Summon into our Skull Guardian. That will trigger the low and the Skull Guardian. We're going to Gamma negate, at least attempt to negate the low reborning, which I would say is a good play here. Ash Blossom negating the Cyphering Gear Gamma, which it's not turned off for the rest of the turn. It stays in the hand. It's activatable again, but the problem with that is they have a free negate on the Skull Guardian, so you may as well not activate the Gamma. Don't do it. Low, I said don't do that, but negate for free. And now your Gamma's gone to not be used on your next turn. So, let's say you have Shmeta. Tribute this card to special summon, then discard a spell, special summon. So, I mean, that's why you're playing the Gamma. It's off the field. They would then Skull Guardian negate the Shmeta. You then Gamma smack them. This is fine, though. I think we can still win this. We got Super Poly. The problem with Super Poly is, if for some reason, I could tell you why, is not good against Voiceless Voice. They require a Skull Guardian and a low on the field in order to negate anything, so Super Poly, getting rid of both of them is perfect. The problem is when you get rid of both of them, they both come back. How? Through the ritual spell, summoning another Skull Guardian from the deck, triggering the low in graveyard to reborn, and now because you triggered the effect of reborning the low, it now sets up another card in the back row. In fact, the Super Poly, if not used with a follow-up way to deal with the newly summoned Skull Guardian, helps them out, gives them a better field. Uh-oh. There's a problem. Big problem. What? Hey, how'd you know you had a Gamma on top of your deck, mate? That's why you did it. Super Polymerization, discard. Wait, your Gamma's still live, man. I mean, you're gonna have a body on the field anyway, so that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Spells are more important in the hand. Making a Mood Dragon, and as I said, Prayers of the Voiceless activating. We could finger the low engraved. That's exactly what we have to do. Finger the low, negate from reborning. So perfect. As I said, you need a follow-up with your Super Poly, and the Call to the Grave was that perfect follow-up play. Negate. Shmeta is now here. Mood Dragon is now calling Dark. We are going to be jumping off the field in response to the Radiance trying to target the Shmeta. So we are using Mood Dragon to protect a newly summoned Witchcrafter so that the newly summoned one cannot be targeted. Jump off, come forth, discard Super Poly, and now does Witchcrafter pop off as we summon a fully protected Dark Hane. Your opponent cannot target other spellcasts you control card effects. You can discard a spell, target a face-up card your opponent controls, destroy it. That is a quick effect. So we are now going to be activating the effect of Shmeta to send from the deck the Witchcrafter buy street. The buy street will be able to pay for the Hane discarding instead. You could send this to the graveyard, right? If a Witchcrafter would discard, you could send this instead. So be ready to pop any card on the field. Let's get to it. Mood Dragon, again, calling Dark. So this is where you would, in response to the Mood Dragon, you'd have to chain impermanence onto the Hane, and then Hane would have to pop a card in the field. But now the Hane is protected from being targeted. Ostinato summon, using the deck, summoning a Bacha. Bacha on summon a Melodious from the deck, come forth, as we then activate Refrain, grab a couplet trigger, reborn a monster we sent from the deck to the grave. And just like that, we got our double Refrain on field plus a fusion. As we also grab a Concerto, we still popping up. Look at this, just one Ostinato doing all this? That's insanity. A double Bacha is now here. With the double Bacha, we're gonna trigger the Refrain and couplet. You get full Pendulum Scales, 2 level 7 fusions. We could have made our rank 4 Xyz if we wanted to. We are now going to Radiance. Return back the Skull Guardian, search in our deck for a Saphira, as the Saphira now discards to send from the deck a ritual spell, grabbing that Skull Guardian. When do we plan on using the Hane? Because this is it. We have to use it before the Skull Guardian comes out. We're gonna take out the low, which is currently negated, so it's not going to be reborning from the graveyard in response to the summon of the Skull Guardian. Come forth, Skull Guardian. Skull Guardian activate, Bacha trigger, reborn from the grave, the Refrain after being sent to the graveyard, Concerto drawing an additional card. All of this from an Ostinato is so many bodies in the field, Pendulum Scales, draw, reborn from the graveyard, absolute insanity. I have to try this deck out. We are now going to make an Infernal Flame Banshee. Banshee activate, search our deck for Nemesis Flag. Nemesis Flag is going to be returning back a banished low, search our deck for a Corridor. Corridor return back a banished card, come forth and summon, send to the grave for a Thunder Dragon Colossus. Activate Barrier, search for Saphira, return 2 spells in the grave back to come forth and summon our Sarvis. And just like that, with over 13,000 damage on the field, with only 4K to block it, we have lethal damage. Voiceless Voice, Melodious. Ostinato is nuts. Super nuts. Good job. That is a 2-0, 2-0. Let's go. Can Crystal Beast play through a Maxi and double impermanence? We have the Pegasus activating to set up a Crystal Beast into our back row from the deck, which does enable more plays, so imperm, negate. Wow, that's it. Well, we are a rogue deck, so 1 imperm does stop us. We have imperm and droplet, our double negate. Cyber Dragon Core attempting to add a cyber spell / trap from the deck. Negate. Now we are down to just having our droplet to protect us. Well, you're also a rogue deck. So rogue deck versus rogue deck. Single imperm is enough to completely end their turn. To battle we go. We don't even have a follow-up play. Goodbye to the Cyber Dragon Core. Sure. The Happy is a dead card. Happy is no longer dead, as we can now use the I'm Seti to discard it. We're going to be using the Cyber Dragon Core to banish the summon from the deck a Cyber Dragon, as we then I'm Seti search for the King Sarcophagus, plus randomly add a Cyber Dragon, reborn our I'm Seti and Happy to now activate Duality. Duality is going to tribute off the Cyber Dragon, special summoning a Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. What the heck is going on here? Forbidden Droplet will negate the ability of the Rampage Dragon, performing 2 additional attacks. Send 2 from the deck, double attack in addition to your initial 1. To battle we go. Of course, not enough for lethal damage, which is what Cyber Dragon is known for. Main phase 2, this will be turning into a monster negate, giving us a second form of disruption in addition to the impermanence. Double negate plus max C. Crystal Bond is an enabler, definitely. Wow, searching for a Galaxy Soldier also. Bonded up, grabbing our Crystal Beast Sapphire, which was thwarted by an earlier imperm. We imperm it again, negate the Crystal Beast, but we now have the Rainbow Dragon in the back row. What you could do is banish this card, special summon a Crystal Beast from the deck. Yep, let's go. Banish, summon into a max freaking C. There is just one disruption here. Now, a monster activated, right? A monster card activated. Why didn't the monster negate work? Well, this negates a monster effect. It was the effect of a continuous spell, even though it's a monster card. So it was not negatable by the photon. We're going to summon from the deck our Eagle, grabbing a Rainbow Dragon. We're going to Awakening, reveal the Rainbow Dragon, send from the deck the Rainbow Bridge, which can now banish to grab from our deck any field spell, plus a Carbuncle. What is this? Kaiju Waterfront Field Spell. As we triple Tactics Talent, take control of your monster negator. Now we can negate your monster effects. As we further make a Battling Boxer Dempsey, searching for a Fire Warrior. All right, Renaud to our hand, special summon Renaud. We're now going to link it off into an Isolde, all under max freaking C with 26 cards left on the deck. There's no way we're going to special summon 26 more times, will we? As we send from the deck one equip card to special summon Renaud, Renaud add back the equip card Golden Rule. We now have the Waterfront as we follow up with Golden Rule, setting up 2 cards from the deck into our back row, using Carbuncle on special summon to reborn our back row cards. As we now Sapphire Pegasus set up into the back row, another Crystal Beast as we then make a Saryuja. I take that back. We could actually probably special summon 22 more times. Saryuja, draw 4, return 3 back in the deck. We're going to use the effect of the field spell to grab the Turtle Kaiju, then special summon it from the hand. The Turtle Kaiju is absolutely insane. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can not hard once per turn, not soft once per turn. You could remove 2 Kaiju counters to then negate the activation and banish the card. So we have 2 Omni negates on the game seal. You could have 2 good hand traps, 2 good negates. All right, let's wipe out the Rampage Dragon. We're not able to perform lethal damage here. It looks like we're possibly giving back the Photon Lord. No, we are not. We're going to main phase 2, Little Knight it up. Little Knight on summon, activate, banishing that King Sark from the field. With 13 cards in the hand versus 2 Omni Negates and a red reboot, which could negate the impermanence. We probably would want to lead with Imperm as we then reboot negates. No, we don't. We're going to special summon a Cyber Dragon, making a Chimera Tech, which could use any monster in the extra monster zone. We still have our negate. We are negating the Therion Regulus from summoning and banishing it. Negates and banish. Now, it only has 1 more negate, but it could gain another negate. How would it gain a 3rd negate in 1 turn? Well, this states each time a card is sent from the field to the graveyard, put a Kaiju counter on this card. So we could literally activate Call by the Grave. What happens? It goes to the grave, we gain another counter, thus we then have 3 total Omni negates on our turtle. Duality, banishing from the graveyard. We're going to draw a card, Call by the Grave. We are going to be fingering the Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. I do not think so. Banish. Also further stopping it from making any crazy follow-up plays. No draw for you. We now have our 2 more Omni Negates. Turtle, Kaiju, get negating. Now, we discard a card. Does that add to the field spell? It's only from field to grave. All right. 1 more negate left. With 10 cards left in the hand, what are we doing? Setting up the Repair Plant, grabbing a Cyber Dragon Core, summon that Cyber Dragon Core to then use our final negates. Negate and banish the Cyber Dragon Core. If 2 more cards get sent to the graveyard from the field, well, I should say just 1 more actually. 1 more, and we have a 4th negate. So we now got nothing. Summon from the graveyard, reborn again from the graveyard, Galaxy Soldier, discard, come forth, and summon. To battle we go. Wipe out the turtle before it gains that 4th negate. Just like that. Lethal damage. Cyber Dragon winning the Max C challenge by challenging the opponent. That was pretty cool though. Setting up a bunch of negates on the Kaiju Turtle. I liked that. Double Knight Shield Bearer, searching our deck for our Wind Beast. Sapphire Pegasus, again getting Imperm just like we did in game freaking 1. Now, the counter to hand traps is triple Tactics Talent, but Imperm does not turn your talents on. We're going to follow up Crystal Bond, grabbing from our deck an Advanced Crystal Beast, which are the darker, more evil versions of the Crystal Beast. I'm not sure about the lore, though. Magical Mally for 1. Return 1, draw 1. What? discard the Advanced Dark, grab the Advanced Dark field spell. We're going to Rainbow Dragon, attempt to special summon for the deck, as we are then met with a Max freaking C. So who knows how much we could have cooked if it weren't for Max C, or are we still just going to take the Max C challenges? We can now triple Tactics Talent, take a gander at that hand, return back that Cyber Dragon Core, which could just be searched for again through the Cyber Emergency, as we now make a Banshee. Banshee, what do we do? Search our deck for a Nemesis Flag and a Protoss. What do we have to call? Light? Yeah, we're playing against a light deck. Cyber Dragon are light, so where's the light? We are going to advance Dark Carbuncle, Reborn from the back row. Pegasus set up another Advanced Dark. As we further, we're fully cooking. We're going all the way. You'd think that the Protoss searched for what Nemesis Flag will be enough? Maybe it is. We're going to, after Search and Renod, Summon Renod, add back the Golden Rule, as we then make a Saryuja, which could get negated by the Ash. Ash negate the effect of drawing 4, then return 3? I don't think so. Negate. But we could still follow up with Nemesis Flag, as Saryuja just not a light monster, so how do we get a light on field? Nemesis Flag searching for the Protoss. This is it. If we call light, we could win. As we now summon a Rainbow Dragon, is there any way to stop this Protoss from locking out the opponent from special summoning light monsters? There is nothing but additional draws. We're going to Tribute to summon a Rainbow over Dragon. We're going to special summon the Protoss. There's nothing. There's nothing. And you are special summoning again? That could help them draw into an impermanence through the Banshee? Are you crazy? What'd they top deck into? No, they drew a Hearse, so it's okay. Protoss successfully... Wait, called Dark. Bro, Dark? We had a light on the field. What's Dark in Cyber Dragon? Huh? It's all light. What about the extra deck? It's the Dark? Dark? Huh? I thought we were going for light. I'm confused. 4 negates an Apollo, but we could summon all the light monsters, special summon a light. Cyber Dragon Core, search for the repair plant. Okay. Chimera is dark. Making an Almirage. Almirage is here. King Sark. You can't summon I'm Seti. I'm Seti, can't summon. You are dark, so gotcha. Can't make a rank 8 Xyz. Was that the play? Light Kaiju. light Kaiju, which would have not been summonable. Could not summon Soldier, could not summon Cyber Dragon, could not summon Kaiju, could not summon the other Galaxy Soldier, could not summon the Cyber Dragon Nova. I'm not trying to like drill this in. I just want to add, you know, what's going on. Could not do that. Cannot summon that. It's like 7 special summons that could not have happened. Infinity gets suck up that Kaiju, and to battle we go. Goodbye to the Protoss. Damn. I thought we had the plan. Eat the Max C, call light, and still win. Probably we could have won this. At another light monster. Wait, that's a Duel Links card. I just saw that in Duel Links. What the? Negate a monster effect. Infinity negate anything. Off the top of the deck. Golden Rule with the Infinity negate. I don't think so. We do have Corridor. Return a banished card to then make a Thunder Dragon Colossus. I don't think that's going to be very good. Now, will it? Yep, that's the Chronomaly. Chronomaly monster effect. Detach 2 to negate. Mate. Holy Cyber Dragon. Now, again, please be respectful to the players. You can criticize the plays, but do not attack the players. Nerves are high during tournaments. They know that they're going to be spectated by many people. So let's all just chill and be respectful on that. Thank you very much. Infinity negates your life points. Damn. That's Cyber Dragon. And the dude got back-to-back Max Seed. I would love to see your deck set up the Kaiju Turtle with all those negates and not under a freaking Max C. So that really was unfair. Cyber Dragon was pretty damn cool, but Max C did have a big effect. This is Tenpai Buster Blader versus Dark Magician. Begin. Heat Wave. Oh my gosh, if you are forced to go first, you just go second through force. And that is by making it so neither player could summon until the next draw phase. Got him. Your next turn draw phase, that is. So can't summon the Quem, can't summon. We could still Illusion of Chaos, search for a Magician's Souls, but What type of disruption will we even be able to set up? Gonna send a Dark Magician to then send the Magician's Soul. You're not an effect monster, and the Heat Wave is only effect monsters. You cannot summon effect monsters. Wow. So right now we have the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense on the field ready. 2,500 damage to the face. But is that really the best we could do? That's it? We're going to Eternal Soul on top of the deck, stack it, then grab it to our hand, as we're now going to be able to make our Dark Magician unaffected by all card effects. So how could Tenpai deal with a continuous effect that does not activate, making Dark Magician unaffected by everything? Let's find out as we follow up with the Pydra. Pydra searching for the Sangan Summoning. Sangan Summoning now making our Fire Dragons unaffected from effects within the main phase as we search for our Chandra. Chandra activating from the hand, special summoning. To battle we go, triggering the Toy Box to destroy the Pydra. What the heck is going on? Toy Box does state that if your opponent attacks, send a face down to destroy that attack. We're going to reboard the Toy Soldier. Toy Soldier come forth onto the field after being destroyed. It will now be searching our deck for another Toy Box. Now Chandra at the start of the damage step, summoning a Fadra. At the start of the damage step, reborning the Pydra. Take out the Toy Soldier as we now Fadra wipe out the other Toy Soldier. And now it's time to make our Bident Dragon. Bident Dragon is here on activation, reborn from the graveyard. Goodbye to the Dark Magician as we follow up for 1,700. Another 15, activate Pydra. This is our final opportunity, the final moment to flip up our Eternal Soul. Is it worth it? This is going to not only make Dark Magician unaffected, but reborn the Dark Magician back on the field, where otherwise, once the Mad Lad, it's over. Okay, we are just passing on that. Transcendent Dragon turns off all of our cards from being activatable. Nothing can be activated. Now, if we were to summon the Dark Magician, it would die. We would use the Bident Dragon, we would pop the Eternal Soul. Eternal Soul would then wipe, wait, Eternal Soul, does it trigger? It's a trigger, so it wouldn't activate because there's a Transcendent Dragon on the field. Right? So Dark Magician would actually stay on the field. It wouldn't even trigger because of Transcendent turning off the trigger. Maybe we should have at least tried to do it. YouTube Ray chose to go second after getting heat waved. Luckily not getting heat waved again. Now, not only are we playing heat wave to have a better turn one, we're also playing Buster Blader, which gives us a good turn one. Special summon Chandra. Let's turn this into a Heretic Seal, giving them 2 draws. As we now thrust into our back row a Daruma Cannon, which could flip the entire field face down. And with the prologue, we could turn all of the opponent's monsters they control into dragons. They are then stuck in defense, cannot activate. This is big. Tenpai is definitely in the advantageous stage here. We're going to be searching for the Rod on summon, searching for the Eternal Soul. To battle we go. We're going to force out the Heretic Seal. Heretic Seal, spin back the Rod, trigger to summon from the deck Fadra. Fadra, trigger to reborn the Chandra. Yup, very nice. As we now Toy Box main phase 2, set up to 2 toys into our back row from the deck. As we now Magician Soul, send from the deck Dark Magician, chaining that dreaded Max C, which will be heavily restricting our main phase 2 plays here. How much do we want to special summon under that Max C? We are already committed to our normal summon here. We're going to send 2 to draw 2, trigger double special summon under Max C. We do not care. How much disruption can we set up where it's now worth it to give them a ton of draws under Max C? Now, their 2 draws were pretty bad here, but what did I say? The prologue is going to turn them into dragons, force them into defense. They then cannot activate. We can't Anaconda. We can't go to Mirror Jade. We can't do anything. Buster Blader Tenpai with the turn 1 Heat Wave or Buster Blader plays is too much.